I'm up on Exmoor again today, so I've parked the car at White Post and I'm going to do about a 14-mile circular walk. So I'm heading west, kind of towards Simmonsbath, but we're not going to get that far. We're going to drop down and go past Great Ferny Ball, some people might know that, then picking up the River Barle, Latnaker Bridge, then onto Withy Pool, and then back up to White Post. So that's the plan. So we're starting off on tarmac. So for about the first mile, mile and a half, following this lane, you might be able to see the moor behind me. But once we're off this, it's off-road for the rest of the day, which is great. So this is looking back towards White Post. Don't know if the camera will make out. There's a line of trees over there, which we'll be walking through later on today. They lead to White Post. But yeah, grey, but a fantastic view all the same. That's it now, off the road. So it's a couple of miles it turned out, so I underestimated it a bit. But yeah, we're now heading into the moors, and there is a ford that I'm probably won't be able to cross, but if I can, no more tarmac for the day, or pretty much no more tarmac for the day. So let's press on into the wilds of Exmoor. Wow, this is a nice little oasis, and this stretch of water here, which we're about to cross, is called Sheerdon Water. So its spring isn't actually too far away from here. Well, I was going to go up there, but some turkeys are blocking the way. So I'm going to go down here instead, which kind of is probably better actually, because it follows the river. Go on, guys. I'll leave it alone. Just making my way through this coombe, and we're kind of going to go to where the land starts rising behind those trees. We're going to sort of start climbing up behind that rise of the land. So things like this do bug me a little bit. So yeah, I'm sitting in this wonderful valley, and yeah, I've come across this, a fire pit. So you know, I do it, you know, camping out in the wild, it's fantastic. But what I don't do is that if you're going to wild camp, you know, be very careful. Set up last thing at night, leave early in the morning. And I know this is an isolated spot, but that in essence is litter. You know, you leave as you found it, with no trace. So please, people, if you're going to wild camp, which I do, be very careful. Don't leave any sign that you've been there, because it gives people who would like to see a total ban in wild camping on Dartmoor, for example, it gives them ammunition to fire at us. So be respectful. Yeah, it's been a nice, interesting diversion, this has. Glad I made it. Thanks, turkeys. Yeah, wow. The valley continues on. We're rising up out of it. Okay. Just starting to pick up the odd deer print. So let's keep my eyes peeled. Bingo, look at that. It's a stag, some hinds. Spotted. That one just off the not bothered though. Okay. Oh, there's a few stags there, young stags though. See, as soon as I've got to move past them, but as soon as I do, start to move towards them, they'll be off. I'm surprised not run off already, to be honest, because I'm just stood bolt upright. Well, I've got to go that way, so I'm just going to move towards them. It's beautiful to see though, isn't it? Let's see them run off. They're bound to run off us pretty much straight away. God, my life there. I'm absolutely... Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. That's it. Sorry guys. A magnificent sight though. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Well, before the deer interrupted me, I'm just going to go to the highest point of the day. It's just off the footpath. So I'll see you up there. I really wouldn't be surprised if I come across some more deer, you know. Loads of droppings up here. Loads of droppings. I think those few we saw back there are part of a much larger herd. So this is Horson Hill, and it's the highest point of the day, 1,450 feet above sea level. So I'll just do a 360. So over there is Dunkery Beacon, which is the highest point on Exmoor. That's 1,504, I believe. There you are, just swing around. So we walked up there. Deer are over there. Okay. Horson Hill. I think it's that same herd. Much closer to it. There's actually some nice stacks there, maybe. Lovely, man. Look how red their coats are looking. That's precisely why they're called red deer. Look at those antlers. So he, I don't know how old he is, 7 years old, 8 years old. Look at the amount of points he's got. There's another one to the right as well I saw. Can I pick him up? Now I can just see his antlers. Ha! On to me. Fantastic. Oh, look at him. do drop their antlers this time of year. Yeah, that's a stag. That is a stag. You can just see the top of his head. But the way they're prancing around, or he was prancing around, that is like a defensive posture. I mean, this is a real treat, this is. I think I'm going to leave them to it. Plus, I've got some barbed wire sticking into my armpit. Oh, should go off like that. Okay, I'm leaving them to it. I've had a good time with them. Don't want to freak them out anymore, because they know something's not right. Thank you, dear. You've been absolutely terrific. God, those deer are still there. I'm going to keep moving. See a stag coming up to see what's going on. Oh, look at them all. Oh, I ain't got a big camera, there's a load of them over there. Oh no. There's a huge herd. Can I get my big camera out without them running off? They're going already. Right, I'm just going to keep this one rolling. I said, didn't I? I think it'll be part of a much larger herd. There's got to be about 50. Check out the size of this herd. Now, half of these have disappeared. Yeah, so most of them have gone running off over the hill. I would say that's quite possibly one of the largest, well, it is one of the largest herds I've seen on Exmoor. Oh, look at the skyline now. And as I say, half of those are the other side of the brow of the hill. There's a load of them. I'd say that is the largest herd I've seen on Exmoor, if you count the ones we can't see. That's it, they're off. Brilliant. Okay, I am going now because I don't like stressing animals out, and they're quite clearly stressed on edge because I'm walking through, so I'm leaving them alone. So thank you again, dear. So this is just me rambling to myself now, really, but I'm really surprised those deer were so tolerant of me, and I'm kind of thinking, is that because of the whole safety in numbers thing? Because usually I don't see deer in that sort of size of herd, so that's got something to do with it. But there's so many of them, they feel safer and more tolerant of something they're not quite sure about, as opposed to if they're on their own, they see something and that's it, bosh, they're off. Just a thought. I don't know, someone might know the answer. So another herd of deer there. Some hinds and stags. Look at them all, lovely. And all these deer sightings, you know, they've been within about a mile, so they're all part of the same herd. And I just don't usually see them in these numbers, so it's rare to see them in this kind of volume. So don't come to Exmoor thinking you're going to see this amount of deer. You can walk for miles and miles in Exmoor and not see any. So today has been an exceptional treat, it really has. So we're now heading down this track, and the valley you can see ahead, we can be heading through there via the River Barle, which we're dropping down towards now. So just walking by Great Ferny Ball, which is up there to my right. Okay, we're approaching the River Barle, which we're about to cross. Lovely clean river this is. And that's feature there, sort of behind that lump there's another lump. There's actually a couple of people coming down it. That's called Cow Castle. And it's a natural feature. It's really bizarre the way this nobule of rock just suddenly appears out of the ground. Anyway, we're now following the River Barle towards Pool, but our next sort of point of interest is going to be Lanark Bridge. And let's see if we can get across the ford beforehand. I'm not convinced. Right, that's a raven, and it's just been, yes, sit tumble. Do it again. And that is a buzzard. There's that raven calling again. Oh, beautiful, man. I'm heading down to the bowl to see if I can ford across it. I'm not holding my breath, to be honest. I think I've just wasted my time, and I'm gonna have to climb back up this hill I'm currently descending. We'll check it out though. Of course, what is a bad sign is when you go down a path that's barely used. It kind of indicates the way ahead is blocked or has a river running across it. Here we go, gorse. Love gorse, but it's it's certainly very prickly. So when it's like that, yeah, let the backpack take the brunt of the prickles. It's nearly through. Right, so where the ford was, can't even get to it now. I noticed it's even been taken off the map, so never mind. I might try and have a look along here. But if I'm going to do it, it's got to be now, because looking at the terrain down there, I'll cross and it's all boggy there, so it needs to be here or back up the hill. So I'll have a quick look along this bit and make a decision. I think I'll be going back up the hill. Just here doesn't look too bad. Probably end up getting wet feet a bit, but it avoids more tarmac. Oh, here we go. Bad start. Okay, well, I'm across, but I've got wet feet. Not to worry. All that to avoid a bit of roll. How insane was that? But it's pretty shallow. It's just ridden up above my gaiters. I knew it'd be close, So below my knee but above my gaiters, so the water's got between my gaiter and my leg and gone down into my boots. Never mind, I've saved about a mile. So Lanark Bridge, and then I'll stop for a drink, I think. Well, we've made it to Lanark Bridge, which is just behind me. I think it's medieval times there's been a bridge here since, but I'm not 100% sure. There she is. Tucking into my sandwich, and look, this Chaffinch is walking up to me. Look at it, her even, it's a female Chaffinch. Try and close them. There you go. Go on. Okay, well, we are now all fed and watered, and we're going to make our way along this valley, following the River Barle, which will take us to Withy Pool. God, just put my foot in this puddle. Look, can you make them out? It's full of tadpoles. Better watch where I step. Well, we're not quite in Withy Pool yet, but that expanse there is Withy Pool Hill. So Withy Pool's just round the corner. So Withy Pool is that village down there, which we're not going to walk through. We sort of was a skirting edge. So Withy Pool, I mean, it's pretty much really in the middle of Exmoor. But there's a pub there, there's a shop, there's a coffee shop, and they're all pretty good actually. So yeah, if you need some refreshment and you're in the Withy Pool area, give them a go. Well, we're not going to summit, but we're currently walking up Withy Pool Hill along its sort of side, so the summit's up there and beyond a little bit. So yeah, pushing out of Withy Pool, making it up this track. It's actually I'll describe this as long and steady. It's not steep, but it's persistent. Anyway, it looks like the sun is trying to come out, which would be a bonus if it does. So we've just about made it up the side of Withy Pool Hill. That's a field system ahead there, which is called Tudball Splats, which I think is a great name. I'll just spin around a bit, because over there you'll see Withy Pool Hill again. So we just sort of come up the side of that. Dunkery Beacon again in the background. There is a stone circle up on Withy Pool Hill as well. I was hoping to be able to see it from here, but to be honest, it's pretty hard to spot, even when you're stood right on top of it. Anyway, let's crack on. So on the home straight now, walking through this corridor of trees. Got the moor there, the moor over there, and this corridor of trees sort of dissects through the middle. So once we get to the bottom of these trees, I think it's an old quarry system, we walk up and the car's parked up top of the hill. So yeah, got about a mile to go. Well, there's that corridor of trees I've just walked through, and I'm just about back, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Lovely walk, I really enjoyed it. Of course, the highlight for me was that huge herd of red deer. That was exceptionally good luck. And that little tiny bird, the chaffinch at Nanaga Bridge at lunchtime. Wow! Obviously it's used to people going there and feeding it, but nonetheless, to be close to a piece of wildlife like that, it's very special. Anyway, I'm about back, so until next time.